Good morning, Mary's Ridge. We'll take a little road trip this morning. Going over to Lifelike Taxidermy. He's done a lot of my heads and birds and so forth. One of my stepsons, who's a big duck hunter, dropped off a wood duck and a black duck for me, and I'm going to take him over there to Rocky and let him set him up. It'll be a while, but I'm going to take him over there today. Let's go for a ride. Hang on, put your seatbelt on. I'll be back. I gotta get out and close the gate. We're heading for Rockies. He's got some beautiful. Oh, there's a car on this side of my line. Dumb fuck. He's achieved a certain level of expertise and is given this accreditation. He's really a nice guy, just down to earth. I might be able to get some of his mounts that he's got over there on video. If not, it's no big deal. But road trip. There's a number of taxidermists that are a little bit closer, but I don't really care for their work. I mean, there's some of them that are pretty good, but Rocky is reasonably priced, and I know him and he knows me, and always does them, you know, you go to pick them up, they're always exactly the way you wanted them to be done. Now I want to show you some of Rocky's work, some of my work. My wife lets me have my own room. Actually, it's the center of the house, the rotunda. Tiger knows that the house that we live in is 8-sided, so the center of it is the highest point. But she lets me put my hunting trophies here in the rotunda, which is, it's awesome. I probably wouldn't be able to find another woman like that. Not that I'm looking. Good thing she's not here. This one right here was, it's just a small buck, but it was the first one that I took here on the property, so I thought, well, I might better have it mounted. It's probably the smallest one that I have mounted. Now this is a green-winged teal. This was done by Rocky. Really nice job. This was the buck that I killed in Illinois. And Rocky mounted this. He carved that particular arrow. It's just, the arrow is for effect, really. And I did, my deer kills are with a bow and arrow. This one right here is, this is my dad's. I was about 10 years old, and he killed this buck. And all he could really afford at that time was to keep the horns, so he had him on the plaque for about, golly, I don't know, 30, 35 years. And I had him put on, I had him mounted, I had him put on the deer head. And unfortunately, I didn't get it done before he passed away, but I know that he's looking down at it and he's smiling. But that one was 212 pounds dressed, so that's a pretty good sized deer right there. This is the pintail. This is another one that my stepson gave me, and I had it mounted. Rocky did. That's a canvas back that, again, Drew got for me and Rocky mounted. Here's a group of buffalo heads right here, again, from Drew and Rocky mounted. He does a heck of a job, I'm telling you. 2 females and a male buffalo head. Then over here is a male, another male buffalo head. He did single. These are a couple. This is a trout that I caught. The smallmouth up there is one that my dad caught and I had mounted for him. And that's a landlocked salmon. They had landlocked salmon in the pond that I lived on up in Maine. That is a 250-pound boar that I shot in Texas. The story goes with that is, if any of you know Pigman the series and DAP, Pigman and DAP on the, I can't remember the channel now, but I went down there and hunted with them. I went down there twice actually, and that's one of the, that's the only mount that Rocky didn't do. There was a taxidermist in Texas that did that for me, and when I went back down the second time I picked it up. But I try to give you the perspective of the rune. It's a, again, my wife is way too good to me. And those are very true words right there, is together is a wonderful place to be, and life is better in the mountains, or the ridge, or whatever you want to call it. Those three pig European mounts I did myself. Those were killed in Texas. Those were done when I got back there. That's a 6-pointer, my first deer I ever shot. I was 16 years old. What a good looking guy, huh? Blonde hair. Whew. Probably 170 pounds, dripping wet. And there's that same dumbass about, I don't know, 40 years later, that buck in Illinois. You can see my bow right there. But like I said, my wife lets me keep these on the wall. She's a good girl.